Hi, everybody. My name is Seth Hartman. I'm a forensic audio analyst. I've been doing audio work for 13 years or more than 13 years. I do all kinds of stuff in audio, sound design, audio engineering, recording, music composition, production, mixing, mastering, all the things. If it's related to audio, I can do it. So, um, I have been hearing a lot about this Nolan Wells phone call audio, and I haven't been satisfied with I don't know what the word for it is, with the approaches that people have taken um, when working on it or looking at it or thinking about it or analyzing it. So I thought that I would take a stab at it. This is going to be my unedited reaction. I might have to cut a couple times just if my brain just goes blank and I'm like, oh, what do I say now? But I'm gonna try not to cut. So here we go. I have RX12 and SpectraLayers Pro 12. For the purposes of this video, I think I just need to use SpectraLayers for it. So I'm gonna open up the file. I downloaded it from this website. So I got this video.
Postcard. No, we do not need that.
Oh, you can't.
All right. Do you have your current?
You can hear it through the mic, but for some reason it's not picking up on my desktop audio. Anyway, I got it from this website, Fox 10 News. To me, this sounds like the full recording. So let's jump in here. So let's see. Here it is. I just dragged the MP4 directly into SpectraLayers. So here we have a downmix channel view. So a lot of people are observing this file with the channels together, or even mixed down into mono or stereo or something where you hear both conversations at the same time. In the original audio, you can hear that each phone line is on its own channel. And what that means is one is on the left ear and one is on the right ear. And they're actually separate recordings. So it's already very separated. We don't have to work hard at all to take the conversations apart, because they were recorded and they're already available completely apart. So for example, actually I gotta put my headphones on for this. So as you can hear,
Detail assistance. Vicky
if you
speaking.
have headphones on, you can hear it's totally split. It's kind of disorienting to listen to.
Help you.
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and
So this isn't super useful. It's a little bit useful, but what I really want to see is the channels separate, and I can do that like that. So the top channel is the up here at the top is going to be the dispatch, and down here is going to be I believe it's Wyatt. I actually don't know too much about the case, so I'm kind of going into this a little bit ignorant on what is going on. But I wanted to do that on purpose, because as a forensic analyst, you're supposed to be as unbiased and neutral as possible, because the point of your job is to just present the truth, or the whatever truth is scientifically observable in the evidence. This is not a official forensic review. I'm not presenting this as evidence. this is not going to, what I do in this video is not going to be usable in court at all. I'm just doing this for, well, I'm doing this to offer some people who are invested in this case some peace of mind, because I feel like there's a lot of stress around this audio, and I would like to offer a perspective that I have not seen yet. So I'm just going to go through and I'm just going to look at stuff as I would doing any work for my job. And I'm going to talk about it out loud. And hopefully, like I said, hopefully I don't have to cut, because it'd be nice to just be able to upload this video straight. Okay, so usually the first step is authentication. And usually, oh, excuse me, I'm gonna yawn for a second. Usually that involves not only looking and listening at the audio, like what we can hear, but it also involves looking at the file itself. Now, since this is not the original file, this was uploaded to a website and then I got it from the website. There's no point in me looking at the file information, the metadata. I can't forensically authenticate this file that I have here, but I can trust that the perceptible side that we can hear is the most accurate version available to the public. I did my due diligence trying to find that. So that's why I got it from official sources. Anyway, let's get in here. So
To connect you.
Oh, I'm yawning so much. So, first thing I notice is I feel one reason I feel confident about this audio is because we start with this. So if I solo this side, we start with this.
To connect you.
And this is actually a good moment to introduce the tool I'm using. So this is a spectrogram. Right now we're hearing drums and guitar chords and stuff like that. So if this looks like a heat map or something, that's because it is. The warmer the color, you can see here, turbo, dark purple, and dark red on the other side. The warmer the color, the hotter the color, the louder the audio. Now, this is relative to my settings, so I can actually adjust the colors and the sensitivity up here. I'm just going to leave it on default until later. And vertically, so there's three, this is three-dimensional, and literally three-dimensional, because you can actually see the volume is a height map as well as a heat map. So the taller the peaks, the louder it is. And this is useful. This feature is useful for certain things. I'm not necessarily worried about using it right now. I think for our purposes, the 2D view is pretty clear. So the vertical side is frequency range. So you can see that over here on the right hand side. It goes up a little bit over 20K. And that's kilohertz, 20 kilohertz, down all the way to 0 hertz. And then this scale, for anyone that's, this is the MEL scale, this is the regular, this is the most common spectrogram scale. The other one I like to use, especially when I'm looking at noise floors, is ERB. But for our purposes, for this, the Mel is totally fine. We can pretty much do what we need to do with almost entirely default settings here. So, and then of course the left to right is just time. So we have up and down is frequency content, left and right is time, and colors is loudness. All right. So what that means is we can see over time pitch change. So, for example, here's a voice.
To connect you.
Connect you. You can see the voice goes up a little bit. Let me zoom in a lot here. You see voice goes up a little bit and then down a little bit on you. And fun fact, every single note, unless it's a scientifically pure tone, like a sine wave, has overtones, which is basically, translation is everything is multiple pitches combined, and that is what creates the timbre of the sound. So my voice has a specific frequency pattern to it that makes my voice sound like it does. A saxophone sounds like it does because of the frequency content in its tone, and everything works like that. So when we see a voice, we can see an expected pattern of pitches stacked together. And right here, the song has a guitar in it. So we can hear the bass down here, and the rest of the guitar chord here. So, one cool thing about this tool is I can actually listen to just parts. So if I make this about that long, I can listen to just the bass. So there's that. That'd be a fairly pure sine wave, no overtones at all. And as I add tones, you can hear the timbre change. So we're getting into the guitar. Right? And I can do the same thing with the voice.
Connect you.
So you can hear it only gets intelligible, meaning you can understand it, once there's a certain amount of frequency content audible. All the way down here, it's just a pit. It's just pitches. It's just can't even. It's not. You can't tell what's being said. Still can't. Right now, it kind of sounds. It kind of sounds like you're saying it's saying connected. Connected. So as I go up. Okay. Now to me, it sounds kind of like connective. I'm getting a little bit of connect you. There's you, I think, coming out now. So we really get to that, that 2K to 3K mark. You can either see at my cursor the numbers, or you can follow this thin gray line going up and down on this side. This 2 to 3K mark is really where the intelligibility comes in
Connect to. Connect to. Connect to.
Like, I personally think
Connect to.
that's all I need. That's all I would need to completely understand, but we get a little bit more than that. This goes up to 4K.
Connect to. Connect to.
We'll talk about the rest of this up here in a second. So just hold on for a second. This is the complete recorded information from 0 to 4,000 hertz. Okay. I can prove that. Oh, we'll just talk about it now, I guess. I'm going to zoom in. And if I start at 4K and go up, let's say to 8K. It's like, okay, that's... You can kind of hear it, but it's missing. Let's turn it up. Let's add some gain here. Come on. Doesn't really help much. What if we add this extra high frequency content? Not really. It's kind of crunchy. But if you look, and this is going to be more evident in other places. In fact, let me turn this up. So you can see this kind of symmetrical pattern, like see these triangles? The process, I'm not going to get into the details of like encoding and codecs and telephone protocol and all that kind of stuff. But essentially, in order to increase perceptible clarity, the content from 4K to 0K, sorry, 4 kilohertz to 0 hertz is duplicated between 4K and 8K and 8K to 16K. Let me see here. Let me go to the other. It's more visible in the boat call. So you can see there's like a weird symmetrical pattern here. That's because between 4K and 8K, you can see it starts at 4K. This pattern is duplicated up here. And it's kind of upside down, and then it's bright side up again, up between 8K and 16K. That's because they're only capturing an actual recording of audio at this 4K mark and down. But if you listen, here, let me do it this way. 4K, just about. That was a bad place to start here. Let me go with the actual speech here. No. Okay, here we go. Here's the actual better.
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn.
Okay, so that's completely audible.
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn.
But it's kind of smooth sounding, right? So if we add an extra 4K.
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn.
Now it has that crunchy, bit crushed, retro flash video. It's called aliasing. But you don't care what it's called. That computery sound. You hear that?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn.
It's because it is a computery sound. That extra high frequency content is literally a product of electronics rather than just a recorded signal put through like a lo-fi signal.
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn.
So what this does is it takes things like the S's and other noisy consonances like T's and K's and ch and s and all those kind of sounds, and it kind of emphasizes them without actually having to do much work to add content.
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn.
So you hear that, how the west,
Tip of Horn.
sorry, here it is.
West tip of Horn.
It's
West tip of Horn.
on west, the S is easier to hear than if we are down here.
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn.
It's there, but it's kind of muffled, kind of lispy. So it's duplicated up here.
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn.
It sounds like more of a S, right? So I wanted to start with that because spectrograms are very visual, and this visual pattern is prominent throughout the entire call, the entire time, even when we get over here.
I'm not sure if it's his boat or what. I'm not sure what's going on.
So totally different phone, but same system, right? So we get the same pattern. You can see it. I'm gonna stay around there. Right? Okay, so that's a little bit of what we're dealing with visually. And then one more thing I want to talk about before I start talking about what I'm seeing in terms of interesting findings is noise. So it's pretty obvious here. Let me make these a little bit. I think that's default, isn't it? No, it's not. It's just a little bit. Okay. Okay, there. Sorry. Adjusting the FFT size, which you don't need to know what that means. It's just it's basically how the spectrogram interprets the audio data and how it represents it visually to me. You can tweak it a little bit. You're not changing any data at all. You're just changing how it's displayed, and it's kind of like if with a camera you dial in, your subject doesn't change, but you need to make sure it's in focus. That's what I'm doing with this a little bit. Anyway, so obviously this is speech, right? Okay. What's all this though? Well, I can show you. Okay, that's super quiet. So if I add gain, if it will actually do it, there we go. I can make this stupid loud. Okay, that's not stupid loud yet. It's just noise. It looks like noise. It looks like static because it is. Okay. Easy. We can use that to our advantage to understand what is happening with the file, and I'll start explaining that stuff now. So there's your little crash course on spectrograms, so you understand what I'm looking at and what I'm showing you. But now let's talk about what we can learn from what we actually have available. Okay. Where to begin? So I'm not even going to start with the background voices just yet. I'm going to start big picture and then zoom in and get to the details later. Getting the big picture idea of what's going on is doing that first is important. So first thing I'm going to do, since I can't authenticate the file with its metadata and opening it up and looking at the actual data points, and looking at it at like a sample basis. I have to work with what we can hear and what the spectrogram can pick up. So first step of authentication is looking for weirdness, looking for unnatural things in the file, in the audio, looking for things that wouldn't be naturally occurring. And when I say natural, I mean typically things that typically happen for the recording scenario that is being used. So this is a phone call. It's 2 phone lines. There shouldn't be a lot of stopping and starting. So if this is truly the full thing, we shouldn't find any cuts, right? So because we have this noise in both lines, we can easily see, we can hear it, but we can also easily see when there's a cut. Because if there's a cut, the noise will be disrupted in an unnatural way. So I'm not even going to listen to it. I'm just going to scroll through and eyeball for missing pieces, for blank spots. So, for example, like here, okay, I just said I'm not going to listen to it. I need to shut up and just not say stuff like that, because I'm going to listen to it. So this is essentially silent, but it isn't. It is not silent. You can see there's noise, and if I turn the sensitivity up, you can see there's a bunch of noise in there. So this is the only true silence is this purplish, right? But when I turn the sensitivity up way too much, we get these weird artifacts. So these visual things, there's not actually sound here. It's just the way that these spectrograms work. It creates artifacts. So I've noticed that for this file, keeping it around like 120, minus 120 for the minimum amplitude is pretty good. Pretty good middle ground, because I can still see the stuff that's important, but there's not a whole lot of artifacts. So there's noise here. We could turn it up again. Nice crunchy background noise. So that tells me that any sort of denoising that is built into the system doesn't get it down to 0. If there's noise cancellation or anything like that designed to clean up the sound and make the speech clearer, it doesn't actually get it down to 0. There's still noise in the line. And same thing up here. In fact, this noise is actually more prominent. And remember this dip here, this weird dip. This is at 4K. Right in the middle is 4K. That's where that symmetry starts and the signal gets duplicated. Okay, so
What'd you say? Hey.
Okay, so still looking, so right. Okay, now look. What I just say is to get down to 0. So before I even listen to this, I know that this has been cut out.
It's either, I think it's
Okay, so this is where information has been redacted.
the set number. It's either.
I'm not sure about this. Okay. Well, that's kind of... Okay, look. When it's been cut hard, the visual artifacts are different. So we know that this is a redaction. So if I turn it up, we get this rectangular lattice-looking artifacting. But over here is these horizontal smears. So I think that this is just a second where, for whatever reason, there really was no sound. And that can happen from signal loss. The only way that there can be total silence on the line is from signal loss. Okay? Like if your phone is disconnected, which does happen. So that's why it's tricky. Blank does not mean redacted 100%.
It's either, I think it's,
So let's take a look at the other. Aha. So the redactions,
it's either, I think it's,
complete silence. So whoever did the redactions didn't separate the channel and only redact the one of the lines. The redactions are across both lines. So the noise stops for the dispatch and for the Wyatt, the boat call.
it's either, I think it's,
Okay.
try that.
All right.
I know we have a membership, like, guaranteed.
Okay, so la la la. Okay, let's see what this is.
You at?
Reach me at 2.
Okay, so then phone number, another redaction. Keep going. Looks relatively normal. Now you might be like, well, why are these lined up? What's happening here? Are these the same? No, they're not related. So just some kind of noise, probably bumping the phone. Something else in the office going on. Noises aren't related, and if we look, they really don't line up. So, okay, here, down here. Whoopsie. Where'd it go? What? Why did it zoom out like that? Where was that? Was that? Why did it do that to me? Come on, SpectraLayers. Where was I? Is it here? No. Bro.
Sir.
I don't know the phone number. It's either,
Okay, so here we are.
reach me at 2.
Okay, here we are. La 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 la. I think I was right here. Okay, so oh, now I got a little distracted. What was I gonna do? I think I was just gonna do this. Okay. Anyway, sorry.
If not, I can send you a text message.
Okay, so you can hear the noise continues, but it.
Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
So it sounds like, based on the conversation context,
If not, I can send you a text message.
because these conversations, the phone lines are in sync with each other. They never get out of sync.
Message.
So any edits or anything like that they'll stay together. So the fact that there's noise here, but just nothingness over here, tells me that this is a moment when the cell phone signal was disconnected briefly, cut out, right? It wasn't hard cut Okay, I guess it was hard cut in a second later. But of course it was because the sound went down to 0 instantly, right? But this still looks different than an editing cut. And so I'll go back to wish there was a faster way to scroll that. Okay. Let's see, where's an editing cut? Here. That's a much steeper drop off at our 120 sensitivity. And we have a piece of noise, so we have a click. See this? And it goes all the way down. This is a click. When audio is cut and it's not faded in or faded out, there's a audible click that occurs. Hear that click? It's kind of annoying. I can't make the sound. It's just an audible click. Click. Okay. Which is different than over here.
Okay.
It just kind of fades out. And then it's 0. And then when it comes back in, it's also fairly natural coming back in. So this, all that indicate, and the fact that then the phone conversation continues, that tells me that it was a dropout for a second. And I think the same thing happens over here. So the signal sounds iffy. I think it's cutting in and out at this point.
North 30 degrees.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a good signal.
North 30 degrees. North 30 degrees. 46.72.
Right? And there's no cuts or dropouts or anything on the dispatch line. And that also makes sense. The dispatch, from our perspective, should never have any dropouts because the dispatch is the recording device. The only time the dispatch should go blank is if it's like intentionally hung up or cut. And the dispatch is just
46.72.
the dispatch is just typing
6.72.
So if we listen to that, this noise is just keyboard sounds. She said okay or something.
All right, 4672. All right, and you were breaking up a little bit. Can you just repeat it?
Right, and she acknowledges the breaking up.
Repeat it one more time to make sure I have it correct.
And when he cuts out, it will mean that he also can't hear what she's saying.
All right, 4672. All right, and you were breaking up a little bit. Can you just repeat it one more time to make sure I have it?
So he probably doesn't hear. He probably hears.
It one more.
Repeat. And then he'll hear her again. I'm. So.
Just repeat it one more.
So one more. This whole area right here, he couldn't hear her.
One more time to make sure I have it correct.
So not only is he distracted on the boat, but he also can't hear her when the signal drops out.
Sorry, look.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, what?
So you're breaking up. If you need assistance, do you have a VHF radio?
No, we do not have the VHF radio.
So that also is very breakup. It's not a complete breakup, but you can hear.
No, we do not have the VHF radio.
Let me solo this.
No, we do not have the VHF radio. No, we do not have the VHF radio.
Yeah, we do not have a VHF radio, but it's very gloopy and broken up. Even though the signal is still coming through, it's having a hard time, and we can see some weirdness. Like it just looks a little bit less clear, as well as not sounding clear.
Okay, my coordinates are 30 degrees by 14.684 north, and then west by 88 degrees by 46.79.
Okay, so there was a cut. Not a cut, sorry. There was a dropout.
46.79.
And then you can hear the signal get weird right after that. And I'm assuming that this blank spot does not exist. No, it doesn't. It does not exist in the dispatch. So
0.79.
again, the difference between the signal dropping out and an intentional cut for a redaction or something, it's important to make sure that we understand the difference. Okay, I'm going to stop the recording because I'm afraid that my file is going to be way too big because I'm recording in 4K. I want to check on that. So I'm going to stop the recording and I'm going to start it up immediately again. So hold on a second. Okay, hi. So, other than my millennial pauses, which I'm 97, so I'm a Gen Z and millennial at the same time. Millennial. Anyway, beside the point. My worries are dispelled because that's 42 minutes and it was only like 3 gigs. So we're good. I don't have to stop it again because that's just fine. Okay, so
Right,
Just-
looks like you're...
moving on here, looking for more suspicious cuts or drops or something. Here's another drop. You can see there's a little bit of noise on each side here. This might be artifact. Maybe not. Maybe a little bit. No.
You told to, sir.
You can tow it to Ocean.
Yeah. So hard hard entrance here.
You can tow it.
Ah.
Sir.
You can tow it to.
You can hear it cuts back in hard after dropping out. Again, I say cut, but it's not a true cut like intentionally in an editing software. It drops out and then connects back in instantly.
You can tow it to Ocean.
And there's a little bit of noise before that too. So again, if it was a hard cut and a deletion of information, this would be totally blank.
You can tow it to Ocean Springs Harbor or Fort Bayou launch.
We're dropping out. Bad signal.
All right, how many adults and children on board?
So
All right, how many adults and children on board?
so he doesn't hear her say any of this because the signal's cut out.
All right, how many...
So he just hears this.
And children on board. And children on board. Children on board.
No, there's no children.
Which is why he's just like, no, there's no children, because he doesn't hear her ask about adults. He just says, no, there's no children, because he just hears her ask about children.
No, there's no children.
Here, I'll make those.
All right, how many adults and children on board?
See, if we just look at her audio, no indication that he didn't hear the entire thing. But we're looking at his. This is obviously like he lost signal completely, and it doesn't come in until here. And if I line that up and then bring the other one back in, we just hear this,
And children on board.
which is what he heard. And then he goes,
No, there's no children.
and he breaks up again.
So, is there anybody on board? How many adults, sir? That was the question.
And he didn't hear any of that. His signal is gone. All this.
Is there?
So
So,
he hears her say, so,
so
and then it cuts. Signal cuts.
is there anybody on board? How many adults, sir? That was the question.
This information did not reach his phone.
Hello, can you hear me?
So he says,
No, there's no children.
and then he hears nothing except for so.
Hello, can you hear me?
And then he hears that again.
Try to jump in and pull the plug while you're going.
Now this is a cut. This is a edit that somebody made. Or something. This is not the same situation that we've dealt with. Now I'm going to check for those hard cut artifacts. As you can see, it's very, when you turn up the sensitivity, the noise cuts out. Things are looking, you get 90-degree angles. You get straight up and down. You get straight lines. Even though you can't see it here, you can tell by if you increase the sensitivity. So let's compare that to another redaction here, which there hasn't been a redaction for a while. Yeah, so there's a slight curve. Turn it up. Compared to here, slight curve. Now the thing is,
Try to jump in and pull the plug while you're going.
it doesn't sound like anything was redacted. Jump in and pull the plug while you're going. That sentence makes sense. So maybe, and you can see the tone of voice. So the tonal character, the tonal character of his voice. So how far he is, how he's holding his phone, how he's saying, what volume he's speaking at, everything like that is very consistent across this gap. Like over here and over here, they look and sound the same, as if there's no cut.
Try to jump in and pull the plug while you're going.
So maybe there's a cutoff in the system to stop and start recording again automatically after a certain amount of time. But we're at 3 minutes and 54 seconds. That seems kind of arbitrary for a system to be programmed to start and stop. Maybe it has to do with file size. But in this day and age, I don't know why that would be necessary, because this file is lo-fi anyway. It's low quality. It's a very, very small audio file anyway, so storage would not be an issue. So this, I'd be curious. I if I was investigating, I'm okay. I can't say investigating because that's not my job as a forensic analyst. I just analyze what I'm given, but I am allowed to ask questions. I would be questioning the life span of this audio file, and I would be questioning. I would want to know who had it. How did it get from the whatever computer or system that it was originally recorded on? What happened between it leaving that and getting to me? I need to know that stuff. In this case, I don't know that stuff. Another reason why I can't truly authenticate this. One of the questions I would ask is like, what is this? Why is this here? Who did this? Where did this come from? And I would, of course, ask who did all the editing and redaction. So this is suspicious. I don't know why this is removed.
Gotta jump in and pull the plug while you're going.
The thing is, it's both suspicious and could totally be benign and just a product of the technology. We can't make negative assumptions or positive assumptions. All of the conclusions that I'm coming to, they have a probability attached to it. This is most likely this. This is probably this. Unless I have confirmation, which would require looking at the technology that it was recorded with and understanding provenance, which provenance is just what happened to this file, what journey has it gone on. All of those things are information. All of those things have information that would help me answer questions about this spot here. So this is weird. I don't think it's an edit. Personally, my guess is it is some kind of stop and start real quick, which caused a little bit of a break. Because to me, it sounds like this sentence makes sense, right?
Gotta jump in and pull the plug while you're going.
Pull the plug while you're going. Jump in and pull the plug while you're going. That makes sense. Jump in and pull the plug while you're jumping in. However, it is entirely possible that there's a chunk missing. That's the thing. It is possible that there's a chunk missing, and then they slapped it back together. But here's the evidence of editing. So it could be.
Gotta jump in and pull the plug.
Is one piece, and then there's more things he said in between here that are gone. Not necessarily the same length as this. This is like barely a 1 second. In fact, this is not even 1 full second. This is just a fraction of a second. It could have been a longer chunk, and then they sliced that out and spliced them back together, but they didn't get it exactly. And then whatever he was saying before,
While you're going.
they try to cover up the edit by starting it in the middle of another sentence. That's technically possible. Again, I don't know. I can't make a conclusion. This is inconclusive. It's the only thing I can do is the only thing I confirm. Wow. The only thing I can confirm is that my eyebrows raise at this. Okay.
While you're going.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Yep, I just need you to answer these questions so I can get you over to the captain.
Okay.
How many
what's
adults
going
on board?
What's up? There are 0 adults on board.
There's nobody on board the boat?
No. Nobody
right.
here is over the age of 21.
And he's obviously distracted. He's trying to deal with his boat and have this conversation, and he's also a kid. So that explains the confusion. Okay, here, look at this. All of this, he did not hear her say. So I'll stop here.
Sir, that was not the question. Is there
And then it cuts out and he can't hear her. Okay. So the rest, all of this.
person? Is there a person, a living individual on the boat? Person.
So I've seen this be criticized online. Like, this is a weird way to phrase this. Doesn't even matter. He didn't hear her. He didn't hear that. He lost signal for this. Let's see. 4 minutes and 21 seconds until 4 minutes. So like 9 seconds complete signal loss. So he didn't hear any of that.
Hello?
Which is why he's like, hello? Because, in fact, we can't hear it, but he's probably saying hello during this period. But this dispatch is where the recording was taken. So from the dispatch perspective, it's just blank.
Hello?
He's confused. He's like, hello?
Is there a living person, someone breathing on the boat? Is there anybody on the boat?
Yes, there's lots of people breathing on the boat.
All right, how many people, sir?
Like 7.
Okay. Just conversation, redaction.
Okay, thank you.
Transferring you to the local captain now.
Okay. Haha. Sorry. Sorry, I have a voice-activated USB hub. And sometimes it misunderstands me. So if you hear something weird, that's what it is. Okay, so again, we have to have context. My initial reaction is redaction, right? Okay, someone cut this out. No, this is... Oh boy. This is not a redaction. This is where the signal changes and the disconnect happens because the phone line is changing to the captain. Okay?
Please hold. I'm transferring you to the local captain now.
Okay, thank you.
This is Captain Seth.
Okay, now here's a redaction.
Service come up. You're going to have a fee for service come up under...
Okay. Redaction. Both noise stops. Protecting private information. Noise increase here. Oh, that's her breath. You can see she moves her tongue and she goes from a H vowel to a E vowel, and you can see that happening. Sorry, this is not necessary, but I'm nerdy. So if I turn this up, okay, kind of, you can see her vowel is here and her E vowel is here as she takes a breath in, and the higher frequencies get added. Hi. Anyway, put these settings back. Boop-a-doo, doo-doo. La 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 la.
So,
Right.
he said there's about...
Do-do-do-do. Looking for more edits or dropouts. I'm assuming this is a redaction.
Boat. And
Is
he...
Okay, she's like, "Is it?" Which is...
Okay. Is it...
Is it? So redaction for private information, and both signals are cut. So
And he said...
So whoever did the redaction is not redacting per channel for sure, because they would have just redacted the lady because the captain didn't say anything worth censoring at that moment. So they're definitely redacting both channels at the same time every time.
And he said,
Okay.
And what I just said is obviously true for the rest of the things too. But this is like, it's not just between the Wyatt and dispatch. This is within the company now.
and he said,
Okay.
I just hung up with him. He said that they don't need.
Okay, la 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 la. Looking for more obvious visual cues. Okay, this should be another redaction, or either a redaction or we going back to the other phone.
Membership, so it's just under
Nope, redaction.
Now,
member. Did you find out if he was a member or not?
yeah, but I'm not sure if it's his boat or
Okay, hold on.
Bob's right now.
So she says, is
Member?
someone a member?
And did you want me to look up
Look up someone. Okay, and then here,
you guys are
You can
swamped.
try this cell phone number.
Yes, sir.
okay, so he lost signal. So he didn't hear her say yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Anything on his phone number?
And then more redaction,
All right. Yep. It's
more
Yeah,
redaction.
all right. I'll just disregard this one. I'm gonna send you over. All right. I'll just
Okay, so he did not hear her say, I'll just, because there's the signal dropout on his side. Again, notice how there's no signal dropping, unintentional signal dropping on the dispatch side, because that's what's recording. The recording device is on the dispatch side. The left ear is on always dispatch, and the right ear is the only channel that we should hear any unintentional dropouts. So everything cut from the dispatch is intentional or due to technology.
thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So see, phone call ended. But I'm confused
Bye-bye.
because you hear like a click,
Bye-bye.
but then there's more and there's a drop. But then you hear more background from the cell phone. Like, what is going on there? Again, I'd have to ask. I don't know. There's nothing here that proves anything bad, but I'm just like, huh?
Bye-bye.
So that's weird. And then it stops.
Hello?
So
Bye-bye. Hello? Hello? Are you there? I apologize. I will be disconnecting due to lack of response.
All righty, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
okay. Let's see if we can. I have a theory. I have a theory that this down here, starting here, this noise is actually Wyatt's phone. I have a feeling that they called back, she got an answer, and then we hear this. For a second, and then it cuts out, and she's like, hello? But that doesn't... Okay. Okay. Sorry, I'm thinking without saying it out loud. So the background... Why did it... Okay. La, 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 la. The background... The background noise... It sounds tonally the same. It sounds like the captain's background noise.
Alrighty. Oh, it's wild. Alrighty, thank you. Bye-bye.
It sounds like the captain's background noise. It doesn't sound like Wyatt's phone. Let's compare here. Is this?
Right.
No, that's the captain still. This file's so long.
Okay, my coordinates are 30 degrees north, and then west by 88 degrees by 46.79.
Okay, so when on Wyatt's phone, the noise cancellation or whatever acts a little differently.
Let me go look.
So there's probably more noise happening, more background sounds out, windy, people talking, water sounds and everything in Wyatt's phone. I really hope it's Wyatt. I'm not going to fact check myself because it's going to be funny if I'm wrong on this video. Boat phone, and then C, very, very visually noticeable here. Boat phone.
C flight hole.
Here's that background noise.
Okay, thank you.
And then disconnect, and then captain.
This is Captain Seth.
And we get that noise signature. And it is consistent throughout the entire phone call. Except for here. It actually gets louder.
Anything on this phone number?
It's the same like tonality, but it's just louder. And then that's the same tonal signature of noise here. So for some reason, there was a cut here.
Bye-bye.
Which makes sense because you say bye-bye and then you get you pick up your phone and you hang up, right? It makes sense that bye-bye, and then we hear some more noise, and then it stops. What I don't understand is this cut
Bye.
and why it's here.
Bye-bye.
Well, okay, let's see. 8 minutes and 30 seconds. Where was that other one? 3 minutes and 54 seconds? Was that it? Okay.
And he
Okay. So it's been like almost 5 minutes since the last weird cut. I would assume that there would be some kind of time pattern for the weird, unexplainable cuts that I'm assuming is a machine side thing. But the first one's at like basically 4 minutes. Well, it'd be exact. So 3 minutes and 54 seconds. That would be like... I'm bad at time math. 3 minutes and 54 seconds plus 3 minutes and 54 seconds. Is that 8 minutes and 30 seconds? Let's look. Let's not rely on 3 minutes and 3 minutes 54 plus 3 minutes and 54. 7 minutes and 48. Okay. So what happens at 7 minutes and 48?
Yes, sir.
Not a weird cut. So there's no explanation there. I don't know what this is. I would also ask about this.
Bye-bye.
Because, okay, with just this,
Thank you. Bye-bye.
I'd assume that she hangs up. Bye-bye, click. Pretty quick. Like, right? Bye-bye, click. And then off of hold, switch, right?
Bye-bye.
Switch. Maybe the system kept recording the captain's phone because it was a hold switch. Let's see if that makes sense. Like, hold switch by, like, she has boat phone on hold, and then she calls she puts the boat phone on hold and calls the captain. And then when you switch back to another line, maybe the line you're switching from, meaning the captain in this case, would get recorded still for a second. Maybe. All of these little details, when you're talking about somebody dying, details like this and questions like this, they all add up and they're all important. So if I was investigating this, I would want to look at, like, I'd want to investigate the exact phone system that was used by the dispatch to have these questions answered. Unless they have a fully unredacted, unedited version that they haven't released, and this version is actually a lot more modified than we think. Okay, let's go back and see what happens when the other switch happens. So...
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so if my theory about one sorry, if my theory about one line holding on and being recorded for a little bit after the line is switched to a different one is accurate, then we would see it here. There is a possibility that Mr. Boat's signal happened to coincidentally drop out, and this cut off of he's getting his sentence, okay, thank you, is cut off. There's a possibility that is due to signal loss rather than the system.
Okay, thank you.
But look at the timing.
Thank you.
I mean, it is a little bit after. It is a little bit after the... Let's see. Okay, we don't really hear a click or anything. So if I go back to our minus 120 minimum. My question is this sound? Can we hear this? It's a tenth of a second. I'm going to boost the gain like crazy. Oh. Okay, it is actually sound and not visual artifacts from the spectrogram. But it's not useful sound. We can't really tell anything from it, other than this looks like something happened sound. It looks like here's a weird click. This line is switching, right? Because she is putting him in. She puts him on hold and goes to call the captain.
Okay, thank you.
So they're not perfectly synced up. Her signal ends before his does. So it is possible that this cut off in his speech
Okay, thank you.
is due to signal loss rather than the machine. But again, I'd have to know how this machine functions.
Bye-bye.
So this switch is shorter,
Bye-bye.
which means to me that he is still on hold, and or he was supposed to still be on hold, so she just pushes a hold button on a system, a switch line button, versus here. Wait, where is it? Sorry. Is it here?
Phone number.
No, that's the... Sorry. Where did it go?
Try this cell phone number.
Wait. Oh, sorry. Didn't go back far enough.
Okay, thank you.
So here...
Now.
Okay, thank you.
Tut-tut-tut-tut-tut-tut-tut-tut-tut-tut.
This is Captain Seth.
Phone call ringing up. Now, I don't know if it actually... Let's see how long this is. Like 2 seconds? I don't know about you, but usually, even if I have somebody on speed dial or something, it rings for a couple seconds, and then they notice it's ringing, and then they pick it up and they say hello. So that was quick. I'm assuming that a time here was removed for some reason. Unless like he was just holding his phone and then ring, hello, you know. That's pretty quick.
Okay, thank you.
This is
Cause like, here. I'm gonna put in like my phone, right? So let's see. I'm gonna try to type my phone number.
Okay, thank you.
51. Okay. I didn't even finish typing the number until after the connection was established. So I think that there was time removed here. Yeah. So this is definitely edited more than they want us to realize. And I don't know who they is. I don't know why. I'm not making any accusations or drawing any official conclusions. Other than just, hey, this is a little strange, or hey, this gives me more questions, or I need more information about this. Even the things that I know for sure, I still technically don't know for sure. Again, I'd have to investigate how their phone system actually functions. There's things I'm pretty sure about, but 100%, I'm not 100% on anything. But I think my different conclusions definitely, I said conclusions again. Trying to think of a different word other than conclusions. The things that I think happened, I'm pretty comfortable saying that I think this is what happened. So, this is already like probably over an hour. This is probably a really long video already. So, I'm gonna stop here and I'll make another video where I go through the actual speech, the background speech in the phone calls. So if you've made it this far, thanks so much for watching. Yeah. Subscribe.